Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Here's what's brand new in 1982. We're currently in August, and only the cool kids played all of these games. We last played two of the worst Pac-Man games ever, and I'm going to say ever, even though we haven't played everything in the future, I'm just going to call it right now. These were the worst. Let's see what is next. After that, we're going to the Commodore VIC-20 in the United Kingdom, and this is Grandmaster. Let's take a look at Grandmaster. It has a box. It is chess. We're going to play some more chess on the home computer. I hope they're going for deep in thought, but he looks more like he's dozing off. You ready to play some relaxing chess that makes you fall asleep? Then play Grandmaster. With an example of the screenshot, let's pop it and play Grandmaster by Kingsoft at the beginning of August 1982. Relaxing chess. So relaxing you even fall asleep to it. So this one is using what is not a usual interface that we've seen. It's going to be using grid-based interface. So that means to play this chess game, you have to know where you want to move the pawn. So if I want to move my pawn, I have to actually know the coordinates. C2, and I want to move him to C4. Ready, go. And then it moves my pawn, computer does its move, it moved its pawn, and that's how you have to play the game. So I actually am surprised it went that fast. In my play test, it didn't go so quickly, and I'm not fast forwarding. You can see it's giving us a timer down at the bottom of the screen, but if I want to bring my knight out, I can go G1 to, let's see, F3. Ready, go. So you bring out your knight. Okay, there you go. Now it's spending a little bit more time for the computer to think. I was blown away. It usually takes a while. Most of these chess games, especially at higher levels, are going to be more and more difficult. We're playing on the base level of Grandmaster, and this one has, I think, 4 different levels. Not as impressive as something like Sargon chess, but all the video games you can play right now, Grandmaster is honestly around the average range. If you think this is taking too long for the computer to move, you haven't seen the other versions that are out there for chess. There are plenty of other ones, and playing on the Commodore VIC-20 is pretty good, especially for unexpanded Commodore VIC-20. Yes, that's right. Maybe it was Bobby Fischer that was falling asleep because he could easily beat us. We're still waiting. You can see the timer ticking down, 45 seconds now. It does keep a running count of how long it goes, and there's not too many chess games that do that. Usually you're just sitting there waiting. It might have a little loading screen, but sometimes it has nothing. You're just sitting there with nothing at all on the screen until the computer makes its move. Still waiting. It's been 1 minute. Oh, with the same chess symbols. Yeah, very cool. You can see the king, queen, knight, rook, pawn. It's all here to play chess. So this is a pretty typical game. The better one that's going to be out there is the Sargon chess. We're up to Sargon 2. I would play that one before I'd play Grandmaster, but I still wouldn't fault it. The only thing, too, is the interface. This one doesn't give you the ability to move the pieces around. You have to do the coordinates, which is old school style. This is something we saw around the 70s. But I'm still going to say about 3 stars for all the games you can play on a home computer for Grandmaster. If anyone's out there that's a chess fan, go ahead and throw your rating out now. It's pretty much going to be how much you want to play a chess game. There's other better ones that are out there, but still, I'd say 3 stars for everything you can play on a home computer. Yeah, if you suck at chess, then you probably wouldn't want to play this one. Or you maybe want to play a chess game where you can go get some tea or go make a sandwich in between turns. Or take a little nap like the guy on the cover of the box. Let's see what our next game is. Here we go on the Magnavox Odyssey 2. This is the Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. That's right, the Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. Here's the box for it, and this is actually a reconstructed box. The actual one is a very long, large box. It doesn't look like any of the other ones on the Magnavox Odyssey 2. Join the fast-moving, highly unpredictable investment world. Buy, sell, trade, make money. So exciting. Flip it over the back, and there you go. That's the actual back of the box, tilted on its side. This is the third and last of the Grand Master Strategy series for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. The other ones we've seen are Conquest of the World and the very, very good Quest for the Rings. Here's the box. We've already seen this one in a few magazine ads. We're finally getting a chance to play it itself. I've already heard about the game, already know about the game. It is not impressive as far as the other Grand Master Strategy series. So you can see the box after the box, we also have what you see inside the box. We have 2 sets of margin share tokens, a game board that you'd have to use, the cartridge and lid for it, and then you have the manual or the investment record pad, and then they have even more grids of all the stocks that you can trade with tokens, and the cartridge. As usual, the Magnavox Odyssey 2 has a handle. Very, very good for this game because you'll want to yank it out very fast and stop playing a stock or trading video game on your system. Now, there already are stock and trading applications you can have for systems like this because it has a keyboard, but then we also have actual stock trading applications for your computer, but this is a video game, so there's no realism. It's close to realistic, but it's not doing, you're not going to actually trade real stocks or use real money. Yes, we do need play money for this. The box art is really impressive. They're following the same, like, take a look at this manual. The manual for it has the same high quality as all the other strategy series. Look at that. It's amazing. The Great Wall Street Fortune. It really makes you feel like you're going to be into something impressive and amazing. And I know I'm downplaying it even though we haven't even booted it up yet, but this is the very first stock trading simulation or any stock style video game on any home console ever. So kind of like we just played with Frogger last episode, that was the very first Frogger you would have played on any home console anywhere ever, not even variants of it. This is the very first stock trading game. If you want to see all the other videos we've done in the past, we've already seen stock trading or simulation games on home computers. There's a bunch of them. All right, so how do we play the Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt? Oh, they got a quote from Voltaire. When it's a question of money, everyone is of the same religion. Thanks, Voltaire. So this is an authentic computerized model of the real investment world. The opportunities for investment in the game represent thousands of alternatives available of various exchanges. You'll find conservative blue chips like IBM, International Business Machines Corporation. Haha, that's conservative. That's funny. And high-risk, high flyers like Wildcat Oil Western. You'll find fast food industry represented by McDonald's Corporation and high technology represented by Texas Instruments. Each of the companies available for investment not only represents itself, but also similar companies as well, like Standard Oil and Shell, Mobil, Arco, and other large petroleum companies. So the ultimate objective is anticipate investment fluctuations swiftly enough to take advantage of the many buying and selling opportunities which occur in a different way every time you play. The rules of Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt are designed to replicate real life as closely as possible. You can play it at 4 different levels, and it's highly recommended you feel comfortable with the first level before you move on to the next one, because every level that you increase just adds more and more complexity to the game. So have fun and make money. So here we go. We get a better idea of what's inside of our box. The cartridge, then we have the investment record pad, option pricing calculators. Wow, imagine those stock trading nerds. They were so excited to play this game. This genre, we actually played better ones on the home computer, but this genre, I don't see how this or why they would think this would sell good on a home console. Look at that strategy board. They have the game board too. This is another hybrid board game and video game. So another one I can't really showcase as well because you have to have all these pieces and you have to have the board to play. It's a board game and a video game. Just ridiculous. Yes, I know there's a lot of stocks and ways to trade that are going to be based on 1982. But you also need the tokens. All those tokens need to play the game. All right, so they explain the basic game. It has 4 different levels of play, and it just adds more and more to it. It's really represented to play with 2 people or 2 teams of people that play. So it's almost downplaying the multiplayer component of it too. The other master strategy games that we've seen on the Odyssey 2 allow sometimes 5 people to play, but this one brings it down to 2, sadly. So you play as investors. So much fun. It's representing a span of 5 years. And all investments in the computer have to be sold by the end of each year. The whole idea of the game is to make as much money as possible. It shows you how to start up the game, put in the cartridge, and then when you select the game, I think you just push 0, on the keyboard, and it starts a ticker just like if you're looking at a stock screen. And then 2 people start to play, and you take turns deciding which stocks you want to buy and sell. And the rules of the game, it is very, very complicated. It is one of the most complicated stock trading games, even when you consider all the ones we've seen on the computer. Yeah, it has to be geared for adults. Maybe something that a party game would play if you were an investment nerd, I guess. Yeah, why didn't this get released on the Odyssey 1? It makes more sense. This series is meant to be a throwback to the original Odyssey 1, playing a board game and a video game at the same time. I'm just going to breeze by the manual, man. There's a lot to this. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of parts to it. It is a well-done manual. It's giving a lot of information, and it's kind of dumbing it down to make it easy to pick up and play when there's... Look how complex this is. They even have inside the notes that you'll have to be taking to write down the stocks and how much money you're going to be making, because while the computer's going to calculate that, you have to write everything down to remember for the game that you're on. Oh, just insane. Look at this. It even has profit margins and the calculations that it's doing inside. And then it has a handbook of all the stocks. Look at the stocks we have in 1982. IBM, Lockheed, McDonald's, still going. Merrill Lynch, yeah, some of all the big ones. So they put in real stocks to make it as realistic as possible. Nice touch. We played other stock trading games on the home computer that they just make stuff up. They're trying to make something fun. Now, what's also interesting is, they even have a grid at the end. The other thing that's interesting is, on the Odyssey 2, we've played a game that was a maze game, kind of like Pac-Man, called Take the Money and Run, and it uses kind of the market idea of bull and bear market. Very weird, but you're moving a character around like Pac-Man. It's not nearly going this complex, but they should have stayed with that kind of idea. Let's play a game that is going to be an arcade-style game, not this one. So this is available in US, Europe, and Brazil. Let's pop in the Great Wall Street Fortune Hunt. Programmed by Ed Averitt, of course, Ronald Bradford, Stephen S. Lehner, and the beginning of August 1982. So here we go. We are not going to spend very long on this one because this is pretty much all I'm going to show. You have to have the board. You have to have all the pieces. You eventually just take the joystick. You can see I can scroll through, pick the stock that I want to, buy the stock, know when to sell the stock, and then you take turns having to write down all your how much money you've made throughout the game. Yeah, investment software, I would recommend if you're going to play anything at this time for games on the home computer, something like Cartels and Cutthroats, or a video game that allows you to pick from menus like you're managing a business, or a kind of simulation like the ones we played for, like Taipan, things like that. That's the better way to represent this style of game. This one, though, is a whole nother level, and it just doesn't work very well. The very first version of this series, the Master Strategy series, the Quest for the Rings, I gave 5 stars, and it's definitely worth it. Then we had Conquest of the World, which was kind of like Risk, board game, video game. This one is just terrible. It's why would you do this kind of series like this? So of all the games you could play, I'm gonna go with a 1.5 stars of all the games you could play on a home console. It has a lot to it. It has a great presentation, but it's just so bad. It's in the bad range of the kind of games you would play. Even for a Wall Street style game, you're mixing the board game and a video game, and it just doesn't work well with this idea, which is sad. They spent a lot of marketing on it. That's right. It's made for young Sheldon. All right, and after that, the game we've been hyped to see, it really isn't that big. Yeah, I wonder if it does jump out of the building if something crashes. That'd be cool if they had the animation for it. But what you saw on the screen, it's just limiting to that. It just adds some of the calculations, but that's all you have. I see 0.5, even lower than that. Yeah, I could see that too. All right, and let's see what our next game is. We're now on the Atari home computer. This is Haunted Hill. I like the title. Here is the box. Haunted Hill by George Richardson. Way to go, George. You see it's Atari 400, 800. You need 16K for this one. And we have the ad you would have seen in the magazines at the time. Fight bats and ghosts in the dark of the cemetery. This exciting all-machine language game has arcade-quality graphics and speed. Requires the joystick. All right. I'm not sure what Haunted Hill is. Not familiar with that. Let's pop in and play Haunted Hill by George P. Richardson, published by Swifty Software and then later by Soft Smith Software, the beginning of August 1982. Yes. Does it work just with joystick? It does. Sweet. Yeah, so this one's programmed with Basic Revision A, which usually feels a little wonky. But look at this. It's a haunted theme of Centipede. So cool. We have ghosts instead of, or gravestones instead of mushrooms, ghosts instead of bugs. I gotta say, we've seen lots of Centipede variants. This is awesome. This is so cool to see something in a different flavor than bugs or eating things, chomping at stuff. We have ghosts and ghouls to shoot at. It's a cool idea. And it's programmed actually very limiting. It reminds me of the one we played on the Coco, because the Centipede variant is only allowing me to go back and forth. I have no way to move forward and back like the Centipede in the arcade or most of the other Centipede variants. They give us a little bit of leeway, but this one, no. We are stuck moving only left and right. Wow. No, we haven't seen this anywhere else. This kind of game. A spooky themed Centipede game. Alright, so this is still allowing me to only shoot one at a time. If I make contact with something, then I can shoot again, which is like Centipede. So like if I hold the button down, yeah, if you hold it down, you can auto-fire, but you have to wait until it comes to the end of the screen. And they make gravestones instead of mushrooms. But this means if it reaches the bottom, what can I do? You can't move forward, so you really have to destroy... Oh, what is it? If it's on a Centipede, oh, am I defeating a ghost that's coming down? A haunted train? We didn't get any more artwork or explanation. Oh, I guess, is that the bats? That must be the bats flying down, like it explained in the ad. Yeah, this is done in BASIC, and not even the best BASIC. Usually we're seeing BASIC Revision B or OSB on the Atari, and this one's done in Revision A. The old school one, the buggy one. So I gotta give him props for that. This is one of the best games we've seen run like this or this smooth. Look at the player at the bottom. It's awesome. That's true. It is better than other licensed Ghostbusters games, especially if you love shooter games. Yeah, love it, Curtis. I want to see if we finish the level, though it changes colors. It is more difficult because it's not giving us the same control as the arcade Centipede. We've already seen official Centipede here on the Atari home computer. That's the only one official so far. Centipede hasn't come to the Atari VCS yet. I want to have to focus on making these shots. Get the headstones in. Nice and easy. Feels like some of them are just going through. Oh, and if you get touched by the ghost, they got you. They do give us lots of lives, and usually that's a cue that there's something wrong with the game if they give us 5 lives. The norm is 3 for the most part. But the theme's fun. This is fresh, exciting, considering the other Centipede variants we played. Yeah, he's holding his arm up for a really long time. Was the first Ghostbusters... I thought the first Ghostbusters was 82. Was the first one 83? We're not getting a lot of spooky music, but it still works great, and this is still pretty fun. There's better Centipede variants you could play. Yeah, I gotta watch out for all of them. It does look like it, right? Yeah. For being programmed this well, I'm going to start 3.5 stars of all the games you could play on a home computer. For a Centipede game. Look how much we got on screen, too. The ghosts that are flying around. Alright, I want to get past the screen, but I have to avoid... Looks like the other ghosts... Yeah, they're only coming out because when you hit a gravestone, then they fly out at you. Yep, gotta watch the other... Okay, got that one. And you can remove gravestones, too, if you're fast enough. Okay, there you go. Alright, so it doesn't change colors like Centipede. It just goes to the next screen. Nice. There you go. So, there was a Haunted Hill video game. And spooky games are hard to come by or find. Or there's Haunted House on the Atari VCS, but usually people don't go for this route. I love it. All right, so what would you give Haunted Hill? Of all the games you can play on a home computer, I'm seeing 3.5 out there. Yeah, I can see that. 3.5's fair. I feel that way. It's an above-average game, programmed very, very well. And Centipede variants, we've seen some better ones that play slightly better, but still, for all the video games on a home computer, I say above average. Yeah, 3.5. Oh, we're getting almost all around 3.5. All right, after that, let's see our next game. We're going back to the Commodore VIC-20. Hey, it's Captain Kirk. I've seen him somewhere before. Mr. Shatner, hello. This is Head On. Head On. They're not even messing around with the title. We've seen plenty of Head On variants. This one has no box, just a few screenshots. Let's pop it and play Head On. We're going to see this one later on the Commodore 64. But right now, this is Computer Mats Head On by Nick Dudzik. They didn't even want to try to match it with a different name. They just went right with Head On. I gotta give them some balls for that one. Yeah, and it wasn't a bug clone. I like that too. All right, we got to load up on tape. We're going to go way faster than usual. There we go. Nick, way to go. All right, 4 direction lanes will change. The spacebar will continue the game, alter crash. Also for instructions, the race will look similar to this. Your car is red. Yeah, so it's a head-on variant. Another one for the Commodore VIC-20. You'll always go clockwise. The objective is, and this is kind of nice, giving us a tutorial of how we play. Usually we see this on the ZX Spectrum or the ZX81. Your car is in this position. You'll hit that and move in the other lane. Okay, so we use A and Z. And then that's how we speed up and slow down. Nice. Okay, so very well done tutorial. Yeah, we're going to be swirling around for a lot on this one. 9 levels of play. Enemy will move faster on higher levels. If you do clear the track, you'll be able to award another car. Very nice. Please wait while the game loads. We are not going to wait while the game loads. It takes a little bit longer. So for the second load. Okay, now that we're in, let's do level 1. Now, does it work with control joystick? Looks like no. Okay, so this is... yeah, this one is only keyboard. So it's not using the Commodore VIC-20 joystick. All right, let's go. Coming in again. There we are. So now we can speed it up. Let's see if I can do this the right... There we go. Okay, so we got the speed up side. Oh, yeah, it's clunky and slow. We've played some other ones that have been tile-based or in BASIC that were running so bad, it almost felt like we weren't even playing a driving game. It felt like we were playing something else. All right, so I'm ready. Go. It's the cursor keys, I think, right? Yeah, it still isn't... It's very barely responding. I gotta say, for Computer Mat, I wonder if this was part of a compilation that I didn't target. Yeah, we've had a lot of head-on clones. Yeah, we think better ones would be done too. Well, they may have called it head-on because they didn't think it would sell very well, so they went with it. Oh, that's already the game? Oh gosh, that didn't last long. Thank you for playing head-on. Well, as far as the controls, using keyboard only, no joystick. We played other ones that have been better on lots of home computers. This one's definitely down in the bad range, closer to the broken range. I'm going to say 1.5 stars of all the games you could play. There are better head-on ones out there. Dodge 'em, of course, was way better on the Atari. And we know they can get better than this. Come on, guys. All right, after that, yes, I want to see... Yeah, we've had a head-on variant where you could play 2-player. You and the other cars could play at the same time, so there's lots of other options besides this one. Yeah, 1.5 from Scruffy looking as well. Definitely. All right, let's see what our next game is. As we traipse along in August of 1982, here on MS-DOS is Hoser. Hoser is on PC-DOS, PC Booter. It could have been on any one of those systems by IBM. So this one has a few images that were front of the box. Look at this. IBM Personal Computer, a product of Blue Giant Software. I'm not familiar with that one. Yeah, PC-DOS, Basic A. This requires 64K. 64K to play this? 64K was the first largest memory jump we ever saw on the channel to play the Microsoft Decathlon game. Oh, 84 was the first Ghostbusters. Really? I thought it was 82 or 83. All right, so then, besides the box, we also have a screenshot, and that's it. All right, it's time to pop it and play some Hoser. This is by Roger C. Ferguson. Programmed on DOS version 1.0. Basic using CGA. Yes, right, the box is screaming shovelware. I really hope not. Ooh, look at the draw-in. There it is. Way to go, Roger. So we got amateur mode or professional mode. I'm going to start with amateur. This one's going to be using no joystick. We have arrow keys only. Gosh, sounds like we're going to be targeting some dogs to play. Oh, that was it. It was the snake variant that we already died on really fast. It shows us how many hoses we use. Okay, so it's a snake variant, but we're a hose instead of anything else. I got it. Let's see how quick. Yeah, responds well enough. But yeah, it's a snake game. You can see it on the bottom. They're giving us a bar that's kind of hard to see. And they have an objective. So they give us a level with certain things to clear. Once we clear it, then we move on to the next level. So they're going to switch up. Yeah, they're going to switch up the design. Okay, nice. So it is not the worst Snake variant. It's actually pretty average. But for a Snake game, yeah, it's all right. Yep, once you complete the level, then you get a score, you move on to the next one. Look at those, look at that color. Man, it's so nice. I'm not sure of the country. Look at that, they even have the, the 3 colors. Now they're just messing with the CGA graphics. This one's a one-player only game, so I wouldn't want to rate anything higher than 3 stars because we played lots of Snake games that offer multiplayer, including one on the TI-99 that allowed you to play with 4 people at once, simultaneous all together. Or even like, I think it was Snafu, that was also on the Intellivision. So there's lots of other Snake-style games, but I like this one because there's only been 1 or 2 other Snake games we played that give this objective where you complete a certain amount of things you eat, and then you move on to the next one. But we're supposed to be a hose instead of a snake. Whatever, as long as you keep making fresh ideas, I'll take it. And this is all using the arrow keys, so it's easy controls, gets the job done. Oh my gosh, wait, are those walls to get past? Oh, here we go. Now they're up in the difficulty. Now, if I did choose professional, the usual Snake game allows you to go only in the cardinal directions. But there's been a couple of them. One of them, actually, that we've already played that allow you to go diagonally, and this one does too. So if we picked professional, it would let us go diagonally instead of just up, down, left, and right. Yeah, I like how it switches up. Every level's going to have something different. This almost reminds me of something you would be playing a little bit later. If we had a Snake game like in 1983 or 1984. Wow. They're getting more and more extravagant. Let's see, I got 2 to pick. And they're really showing off the CGA colors. So cool. Love it, Mark. All right, here we go. Nope, there's the crash. As soon as I start driving behind my back, then that's what happens. All right, so can we go back? Does it work with this escape to go back? No, F1. Okay, we'll quit out. So just take my word for it. If you do professional mode, then you're going to be able to go diagonally to play. But Hoser's all right. Of all the games you can play on a home computer, I like going from level to level, seeing something else besides the same old thing. So I'm going to start around 3 stars. If you could play all the games that we played up to this point on the home computer, what would you give Hoser? For a game on IBM, there's only been 1 other game we've seen, or 1 or 2, that have used a joystick on the on DOS, but everything else on DOS has always been keyboard, so I wouldn't fault it for that. But it's still a really good game for all the games you could play on IBM. That's true. It is not Nibbler. Nibbler was a good Snake one. And there's a few others we played on Apple II that are really, really good. So it wouldn't be pushing further and like something impressive from there. But I love the CGA graphics. Yep, 3 stars. 3 stars is kind of like the way of saying, right now, this game really doesn't have anything that faults it or anything that pushes it above the other games we've seen. Oh, I see 4 stars from Scruffy looking. Yeah, I like the way... I want to see the next levels to see what the next one is. Yeah, and there's a timer. You got to be fast enough as well. Yeah, something you could play more of. Yeah. All right. So after that, let's see what's next. After this commercial break.
Okay, the professional video game system that gives you 4-player.
Oh, it's so relaxing.
3 built-in games, a calculator,
it's like
and
springtime.
These new cartridges.
Ooh.
Creative Crayon. Even the young can make beautiful pictures. The Incredible Wizard has a dungeon of surprises for you.
The Incredible Wizard.
You can even create your own games with Astrocade Basic, the easy computer teaching cartridge. Astrocade, the home entertainment sensation that's a personal computer.
That's right. It's time to play. Do you remember this console? We haven't really seen as many games on it compared to the Odyssey and Television and Atari. This is the Astrocade, or now referred to as the Videocade. So the Incredible Wizard is the game we're going to be checking out. This one is the very first time you could ever play the Wizard of Wor at home. Let's check out Incredible Wizard, starting with the box. Oh, nice. We look like an astronaut or a Ghostbuster, even though they don't exist right now. Blazing away at the wizard. Totally different than some of the artwork that was done in the arcades. Challenge the Incredible Wizard and his creature in their own environment, treacherous dungeons. Slip through the magic door at the end of the dungeon, but prevent the super monster from escaping through it. Shoot the Incredible Wizard and experience the tremor of the entire dungeon as his magic wavers. Become a warlord, W-O-R, Lord, by the way. And go all the way to the pit. Fantastic sounds and bonus make the Incredible Wizard just like the coin-op game. Oh, really? We'll be the judge of that. I see Errol saying the best action game. Yes, on the PC, one of the best ones has been the Cathalon series that Microsoft did. So don't look at the date. That's not a date, 2017. That's just the number. But here's the cartridge we're going to pop in our Videocade and play. Lots of games we've been playing on the home console, so it's great to see something different or a different home console. Let's take a look at the manual for the Incredible Wizard. We originally saw this in the arcades as the Wizard of Wor back in 1980, 2 years ago. All right, how do we play this? So this is by Tom McHugh, Scott Norris, and Julie Milan. Very well done. Action graphics is the ones that Bally, or not Bally, Astrocade contracted out for this. Bally Midway originally did it. Dave Nutting was the one that did the development in the arcades. How do we get started? Well, you turn off your system, plug it back on. This is for 1 or 2 players. This is a 2-player simultaneous and even co-op mode, so they do exactly like the arcade does. A player is referred to as a warrior, as he or she in the Dungeons of War, the wizard's homeland. In 2-player mode, both players play at the same time in the same maze. Player 1 is on the left, player 2 is on the right, and the adversaries are the wizard and his pets, the warlings. Yes, the original Wizard of Wor, the first time you could play it at home. But it was called the Incredible Wizard, which I wasn't aware of. When this came out, I didn't know you could play this one. We're going to see some other ones later, but this is the very first time you could. So what you do is choose the wizard, and then you choose which skill level you want, how many players you want. When it's time to play the game, this uses the joystick. The Bally Astrocade one is the one that has a little knob at the top that wiggles around and can twist. And as the trigger, which is an actual trigger, it shoots your concentrated unified field disturbance rifle in the direction you're facing. Because the nature of the unified field disturbance rifle, only one shot can be in the air at a time. Until it strikes a wall monster, another shot, or another warrior, another shot cannot be fired. That's a very intricate way of saying you can only shoot one at a time. Long corridors can be dangerous because while the shot is traversing the corridor, a monster can come in behind you and eat the player, who cannot shoot again. This puts great importance on when the player shoots and when not to shoot. Alternately, short shots hit nearby walls and can be reloaded quickly, giving the player a rapid fire capability. The problem with short shots is there's only one chance to shoot a monster, or they'll sneak between shots and run over the player. That's a very verbose way of saying what we already knew from the arcade, if you ever play this in the arcade. Yes! Yeah, usually I say the title of the developers. Way to go, Tom, Scott, and Julie. I know, that's true. We're not going to have the talking, though. I don't think there was a talking element on the Bally Astrocade. So there's 2 objectives in the Incredible Wizard: descend as far as possible into the dungeons and score as many points as possible. We got to score the points. Descending the 8th maze earns the player the title Warlord and the privilege of challenging the Warlord dungeons. You get an extra player every 4th maze, nicknamed the Arena, the 8th maze entering the Warlord dungeons, and the 11th, the pinnacle of the Warlords, the Pit. We're not going to get to the Pit, but that's pretty cool. They give you levels or dungeons to go to. You also get additional players the further and further you go. The first creature you battle is the Burwar, the hopping monster. He's the slowest of all the monsters and is always visible. After Burwar is Garwar, the chomping monster, then Thorwar. I don't remember this in the arcades. Did they give titles of the characters? And then they're invisible. Oh, that's right, because this one has the radar. Wizard of Wor had the radar so you can find them all. Yeah, the radar at the bottom of the screen tracks the invisible monsters, so if you don't see them on the top, you can see them down at the bottom. Almost like you're playing Alien from 1979. Clearing all the monsters of the maze brings out Warluck, the flying monster. He's visible all the time, will try to escape. He's very fast. After Warlock escapes and is shot, then the wizard may appear. The wizard comes out more frequently in higher mazes and is more difficult as the player descends deeper into his dungeon. He disappears and reappears and cannot be tracked by radar. Can we just see this manual and appreciate how good Atari and Magnavox Odyssey manuals are? This manual is like a Creative Vision manual. It's just text. There is not any artwork. I guess we have the front of the manual for artwork, but this is all just information. You just read through. It's not cool. This manual isn't very cool. To battle the wizard, you can anticipate moving in the corridor and shoot him down. And then we got the scores for everything. And to play again, you reset. And then we got the legal mumbo jumbo for the Astrocade. So cool. Never played this one. Really excited to check this one out. So we have other artwork for besides the Incredible Wizard and the cartridge. We also have... Oh, I guess that is all the artwork. Never mind. All right, let's pop it and play The Incredible Wizard by Action Graphics, published by Astrocade at the beginning of August 1982. I'm ready for anything. All right, so the first thing you want to do is go to game 1, which is the wizard. And we're going to start on game level easy. And the number of players, you can play 2 players simultaneous. I don't have anyone with me tonight, but just bear in mind, you can play together and work together. Yes. All right, so boots me up. I'm in the bottom left corner. And yeah, it looks the part, almost like a lower resolution of Wizard of Wor from the arcade. But look at the bottom. They have the radar too. And yeah, enemies are speeding up. Control feels pretty much the same as what we've seen in the arcade. But it's been a while. It's been 2 years since we've seen in the arcade. So this would have been a real treat to play if you had the Bally Astrocade. Oh, here it comes. Is that my secret exit? Yeah, that's the secret exit. I remember that. So cool. Take him out. And you're just going to go further and further. Now we're going to try to see if we can take him out before he escapes. There we go. Got him. Bonus. All scores double. I love the Astrocade's giant text like this. Look. So cool. We've already seen a few of their games do that, and I still love it. It makes you think you're playing something bigger, better. Like in the arcade. I've heard that the arcade version was one of the inspirations for The Legend of Zelda, or I should say one of the inspirations for Tower of Juraga. And you see this movement in the fantasy setting from the top-down maze game. Oh yeah, we're getting some really good luck this time. Listen to the sounds. This is one of the best Astrocade games because it feels like we're playing in the arcade. That's originally what the sell was. But now you can see from the commercial we just watched, they were trying to sell this is both a video game and a home computer because you can do basic on here. I'm already seeing Ariel throw out 5 stars. Yeah, of all the games you can play on a home console, look at this. This is awesome. So while it doesn't have the talking, it's still getting the job done. Okay, where'd my radar go? I see him over there. There he is. Come on, buddy. And also, I'm playing this single player. You can play with someone else, a friend too. So much fun. All right, let's take him out. Enemies are a little bit slower because we're on easy. Oh, the wizard got me. And the wizard escaped. Well, you got plenty of lives, though. Check over on the left side. It shows an entire person for it. Yeah, this had to have been the killer app for the Astrocade. It's so well done. Everything minus the voice, but even still, the sound effects are so good. Now I understand why they were advertising that in the commercial. That was the later commercial. We've already seen a few others by when Bally was the owner of this system. Oh, I didn't fire fast enough. I have to refer back to the manual and remind myself I can only fire one at a time. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you can see on the radar, there's 2 more enemies, and I have an exit I can slip out. There you go. I love this because it's like when Wizard of Wor came out, it was like you were playing Pac-Man, but you could shoot. And had this space theme. Yes! We got it! Look at the flashing. Whoa. All scores quadruple. This is epic. This is so good. And to play 2 at a time, yeah, this would be a reason to get... I'm trying to think of other games we played. There's not many that are 2-player simultaneous where you and your friend could be running around shooting like this. And on a home console, I mean. Last time we did check this out in the arcade, my buddy Casey Club Kirby was on, and we were able to play 2 players at the same time. Totally different experience and lots of fun. Yeah, I'm seeing 4.5 out there. Yeah, well, we are on the easy mode. The arcade didn't have... We weren't flipping the dip switches for the difficulty when we played it in the arcade, but this is easy, so the enemies are a little bit slower. If you wanted to go harder, we can turn it up. It has 3 different difficulties. Yeah, while the manual didn't really scream quality or presentation, the game itself is more than making up for it. All right, here we go. I think, let's see which direction it's going to go. This is the one that tries to escape. Got him. Okay, now we're going to go on to the wizard. Yes. Yeah, and all the multiple mazes is fantastic. Because bear in mind, the beginning of this year is when we saw Miss Pac-Man that had the 4 mazes added for Pac-Man. Yeah, right now we're gonna see ones later for Wizard of Wor, but as far as right now, this is amazing. Yeah, I would have continued to play this because you have the element of let's see what's next. Let's go to the next level. Incredible Wizard is incredible. Yeah, it is one of the best, if not the best, game we played on that Bally Astrocade. Of all the games you can play on a home console, I am going to crank this up. This is one of the best ones. I'm going to go 5 stars. It is so fun. The 2-player simultaneous is another one that sells it and pushes it over the edge for me. You have other games that are out there in the maze style, but this one it plays so good. It plays really well. Yeah, we are going to see one of those later. So look, stay tuned on the channel because later on the computer we're going to see the Wizard of Wor. But as far as console goes, it's not going to be for a while. Oh, that's true. Yeah, Joust, but we haven't seen that yet. Joust has only come to the arcades. So as far as what's home, it's not here yet. It hasn't arrived yet. Curtis is going to go 5, yes. It's really close to the arcade. It just looks like a slightly lower resolution version than the arcade. Yeah, so we haven't seen the Atari 8-bit version yet. That's the one that's going to be coming up. And then there's one other one, too, before we close out the year. All right, so after that, let's see what is next after another commercial break.
Presents the world's first rock video game, Journey Escape.
Yes, it's time to play.
You must help each member of Journey Escape.
Oh yeah.
Mobs of love-crazed groupies, shifty-eyed promoters. I can get you the forest. And freaky photographers. Find your roadies and manager.
The craziest idea for a video game.
Vehicle and live to rock another day. Journey Escape for the Atari 2600 from Data Age.
All right, it's time to rock out on the Atari VCS. This is Journey Escape. And the Journey, the band Journey, that's right. Here's the box for Journey Escape. The game that I actually wasn't aware of. I was more familiar with the one in the arcade and not this one. So I was pleasantly surprised to see this one. This is so cool. This is the very first video game to have anything associated with a band or musicians or rock. This is the very first one to start the whole thing off. This is by Data Age, which brings it to another third-party developer that we're going to see on the Atari VCS. This joins the ranks of all the other ones out there like Activision, Apollo, Parker Brothers, Coleco, Mattel, Imagic, Tiger Vision, Zellers. I don't think I'm missing any, but do we have too many? Is that too many third-party developers on the Atari? They'll be okay. So this is based on the album of Journey's album Escape that came out in July 17th, 1981, and it's like you get to play the album. I'm really excited to hear the Atari play the songs by Journey. Let's flip it over on the back. Yeah, the front of the box is essentially the same album by Journey. Yeah, I had no idea this existed. When I saw this come up on the show, I was so excited. So cool. All right, so the rock concert can be perilous for the performers, even for one of the hottest groups, Journey. Will you be able to guide all 5 members of the group to the safety of their famous Scarab escape vehicle before time runs out? Will you be able to protect the $50,000 concert cash? We're responsible for that? Or will you be foiled by stage barriers, groupies, photographers, and promoters? The action is hot and heavy, just like at a Journey performance. I wasn't expecting that. So crazy. All right, so besides the box, we also have the ads you would have seen in magazines, which I don't remember seeing this in magazines. America's hottest rock group is now a video game by Data Age, maybe because it's this third-party developer I'm not as familiar with. Data Age only did a few other ones that we're going to see later, and they are the bottom of the barrel games. We also have what's inside the box to tell you or explain the game concept. Look, there's the shifty-eyed promoters. There's the loyal roadie. There's the eminent manager. There's our escape vehicle, obviously, and there's one of the Journey. That's what we're going to play as one of the band members. And then we also have the loved crazed groupies. Watch out for them. And then the sneaky photographers. Here's another ad in magazines with the whole band for Journey. Journey's Escape, the challenging new Data Age video game. The very first video game based on a rock band or a band, any music, anything. This is the very first one. And there's the album. If you're not familiar with Escape by Journey, oh man, this is so cool. And then there's the cartridge using another design of all the other different cartridges out there for the Atari VCS. We're starting to get more and more of everyone putting their own spin on video games. And there they are. Or how they would have looked in 1982 at the peak, because Escape was, I think at one point, the #1 album in North America or in the United States. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Journey Escape. How in the world do you play Journey? It's not going to be a music game. We're going to be doing something on our Atari VCS. Yes, we're on the road with the world's hottest rock group. We have to get past love-crazed groupies, sneaky photographers, shifty-eyed promoters, to the safety of the Journey Escape vehicle in time for the next concert. So the album's called Escape. The video game is called Escape, and it's based on the album, but you actually have to escape in the video game. The point of the video game is to escape. You have to lead all 5 members of Journey through waves of pesky characters and backstage obstacles to the Scarab escape vehicle before time runs out. This is all whacked out. This is the craziest idea. So there you go. It explains everything right here. All the characters that you're going to see in the game. All the band members, drummer Steve Smith, keyboard player Jonathan Kane, bass player Ross Valerie, and lead guitarist Neil Schon, and lead singer Steve Perry. They're counting on you to lead them to their escape vehicle. It won't be easy, as Journey says. Some will win and some will lose. Yes, maybe we should. I think I saw this in bargain bins because this can't be good. This cannot be a good game. And then there's the Journey's famous Scarab escape vehicle to get everybody out of there. Then we have the love-crazed groupies, the shifty-eyed promoters, sneaky photographers. We're supposed to avoid all these. And then our helpful characters is the loyal roadie, so we pick up him, and then the manager. The manager will get you the entire crowd to escape vehicle without being stopped. This is just feels like I'm on an acid trip right now reading this manual. Yes, this must be canon. That's a good point. Yeah, here we go. How do we play this game? Well, first of all, you get the console to turn on, you adjust the brightness, plug in your joystick. It says 2 players. Oh, it's alternate play. You don't play at the same time. You push the game reset to begin, and within waves of groupies, which are hearts. The promoters are heads with shifty eyes. Photographers, you have to avoid all those. And then Don't Stop Believing is going to be playing in the background. Cool. I want to hear Don't Stop Believing on the Atari. Select your level difficulty with the difficulty switch and then the red fire button to begin the game. When the single players turns over, you push reset. Okay, it's pretty much the same. Okay, once the 5 players are safely to their vehicle, the game will revert to the introductory scene for about 15 seconds, and then it'll automatically switch to the gameplay scene and add an additional $50,000 added to your score. So the game is using a currency to play. Yes, I don't even know this existed. It must have flew under the radar because it's not one of the higher end third-party developers like a Magic or Activision. So the player fails to escape the vehicle in a lot of time. You miss the next concert and the game is over. You got to get all 5 members to get in the vehicle. So you have $50,000 and 60 units of time. So it's a time game too. If you make your escape vehicle before time runs out, any time will be applied to the next band member. If you manage to get all 5 band members to escape, just make sure Steve Perry makes it. We need his voice. Yes, these are pixels that should remain in the past. I love that line. That's a great line. Once the 5 players are safely in the vehicle, the game reverts to the introductory scene for about 15 seconds and then automatically switch to the gameplay scene. Once you've started the game, the joystick controller will guide the Journey band member past the stage barriers, groupies, and promoters, and then you try to contact your roadie or manager when they appear. So I got to remember what to avoid in the game and what to pick up in the game. For quick sideway or backways, downway moves, use the fire control button while shifting the joystick in the desired. Oh, so it's a tip. And this is Data Age, another manual it's a lot of text. It is a nice touch with the pictures, I guess. So I wouldn't fault it there. Yes. Yeah, get ready. We're going to see what happens. This one has no other versions that I know about. Well, actually, there is 2 versions of this game that exist. One of them is a version where the borders are around the game and you can pause the game. And there's another version of the game that has no borders. You can't pause the game. And if you stay idle too long, the game will crash. So let's see what version we got. It's time to play Journey Escape by Data Age at the beginning of August 1982. Ooh, I can already hear the tunes. There it is. Oh, so cool. And that's the limo, right? We're gonna go pick him up. That is Journey on the Atari. I gotta say, that's one of the best songs we've ever heard on the Atari. Or maybe I'm just biased because Journey's awesome. I love Journey. So it sounds good. We might see a Ramones game later. All right, so let's go ahead and start. We're good. When it's time to go, I'm down at the bottom of the screen, and wait a second, that background looks familiar. The background looks like the same star field that we saw in Cosmic Arc earlier. So avoid everybody, avoid the groupies, avoid the promoters, avoid, oh, there we go, get a roadie to help us out, nice. All right, so now we're looking for the vehicle to get him home. Uh-oh, the roadies are getting, or the promoters and the groupies are getting larger. But I have full reign to move around. In a way, this game reminds me of Tax Avoiders that we played, even though it's not a platformer. Just the idea is just ridiculous. That we're going to play a game where we're controlling the different members of Journey and trying to get them back. Oh, the timer's running out. Am I missing something? Yep, and time's up. They didn't get home in time. The song alone, though, is pretty cool. I can understand why people would buy the game and be so excited, because if they like Journey, they want to hear the song. Okay, let's go. How many other songs did they cram into the album for Escape? Let's see. Oh, I can speed it up. I see. So if I go to the top of the screen, I can warp the screen even faster. But the start field remains the same. So it's pseudo 2D scrolling, but not really 2D scrolling. It's just scrolling the objects. Alright, I don't see our manager yet. I only got 20 seconds. Let's go. Oh, there it was. I missed him. He blends in with the other items, so if you don't get to the manager, you can't get to the car. So it's an avoid 'em game, yeah, and then we already are down. Oh man, the music though is so cool. Oh, and 82, yes, Thriller, man, that would have been the biggest, right? All right, going in again. I gotta find that manager. I just want to sit here and just keep listening to "Don't Stop Believin" by Journey on the Atari. All right, so got a roadie. There we go. Looking for... What happens if I touch... Oh, the roadie just... Oh, okay. They just push us back, and they lose time if we touch it. So as far as gameplay wise, it's very lacking. There's not too many games like this because most of them are going to be shooters or maze games, but it still is. There's not much to it. All you're doing is avoiding certain things and picking up certain things. In presentation, they just have a lot of flashing stars. Where in the world is the manager? And we're already, done with it like that. And then Men at Work and the Police. Everyone should just throw in the chat all the music they were into right now in August 1982. Because this album was out in 81. At least the summer of 81. That's a good reason not to like them. Alright, so I don't know. Journey Escape is just straight out of left field. I wasn't expecting the game. I have no idea why they made it. It's kind of interesting they did, because there's never been anything like this. But as far as the game itself, the only cool thing is booting it up and hearing Don't Stop Believing. But if you were into Journey, you most likely had the album to listen to. So gameplay, though, it's weird. I almost want to say average, like 3 stars, because it's not doing too much different. But I can understand why this was something that would be in a bargain bin later. So Journey Escape, of all the games you can play on a home console, what would you rate Journey out of all the games you could play? The excitement of Journey could possibly bump it up, but other than that, it's really not doing too much. Inoffensive and dull. I got a 3.5 from Scruffy Looking. Of all the games you could play on a home console, the excitement of Journey would make it maybe 3.5. But gameplay, though, I'm still going to say it's just right there in the center. Blah. Oh, the intro tune? Yeah, I'll go 3 stars of all the games you could play on a home console. This is another one of those games that it has the excitement of, this is so cool, it's a video game, but then when you actually play it, it starts this malaise of what video games are and how we start building up to the crash in North America. Yeah, I see 2.5, 3 at most, yeah. Okay, well, I'll stick with 3. That sounds like the best one. All right, so that's where we got to put our video game playing on pause. Man, what a crazy night. It's August 1982. Tune in next episode for another Kong on your Atari VCS, and Commander Champion of the Atari Force has chosen you. That's it for today, and like I always say, don't stop believing. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.